Now, in the conversation part of the TOEIC test, it will assess a test taker's ability to really understand different conversations that take place in everyday situations and work-related situations. So these conversations are usually between two or more people, and they will typically involve common interactions that you might encounter in an office or during business meetings or social settings or anything related to work. Okay, let's briefly look at an example. So in this part, you will listen to a short conversation and then answer questions about this conversation. Okay, I will play it now.
Hi, Lisa. Do you have the report for the sales meeting ready?
Yes, I finished it last night. I just need to print it out. Do you know when the meeting starts?
It's scheduled to start at 10 a.m. in the main conference room. Will you be able to have it printed by then?
Yes, I'll go do that right now. Anything else you need?
No, that's all. Thanks, Lisa.
Questions. What is the woman doing with the report? A.
Reviewing it,
B.
printing it,
C.
sending it,
What time does the meeting start? A.
9 a.m.,
B.
10 a.m.,
C.
11 a.m.,
Where will the meeting be held? A.
in the main conference room,
B.
in the sales department,
C.
in the manager's office.
Now this is what the conversation was. Now what do you think the answer was? The correct answer was B. This is because the man explicitly states he will complete the report by tomorrow. Now why were the other potential answers not correct? This is because in answer A, the man clearly says not yet, so it could not be today. Then in answer C, the man does not mention next week. And in the potential answer D, the answer yesterday was not in his response and is in the past and irrelevant. As you can see, the obvious answer is B. It answers the question and the man states he will complete the report by tomorrow. Okay, good job. So the strategies for answering these type of conversation questions do give you a hint of what the correct answer is. So you want to really pay attention to the details. In this part, you want to listen for specific information of the details. You also want to note key information about important dates or times or actions. In this conversation, the woman asked, "Did you finish the report?" And the woman is inquiring about the report that someone is supposed to finish, and the man said, "Not yet. I will complete it by tomorrow." This is key information and about what's happening and the action that will be taken. The man will finish the report by tomorrow, and so that, as you can see, is very important to really understand because it finishes the flow of the conversation. When you understand the flow of the conversation, answering correctly in questions like these really improves. We want to grasp the context of the relationship between the speakers and understand that relationship between the speakers. That's important. Let's try it one more time. This time it will have a longer conversation, so I'll play it now. Now if you listen closely, you will know what was said about the report for a sales meeting. Now do you remember what the woman was doing with the report? The answer for number 1 is B, printing it. The woman says, "I just need to print it out." And then in number 2, the answer is B as well. The man says it's scheduled to start at 10 a.m. And then number 3, in the main conference room. The man says, "In the main conference room." Now here you can see the script. Now on this conversation part of the test, you won't be able to see the script. This is just for training purposes. But as you review this, you can see that all those questions asked before are right here. So the things that you want to do in the conversations part is to first understand the context of the conversation. The conversation will typically be at a workplace interaction or between colleagues or other real-life scenarios. And this conversation that we heard was discussing a report for an upcoming sales meeting, and the question focused on key details that were mentioned in the conversation, such as the action the woman needs to take, a report, so that's the action, what needs to happen, and then the time of the meeting and the location of the meeting. That's what the question's focused on. And then we want to analyze the answers. The answers are provided directly from the conversation. So in this part, the conversations part, listeners need to have the ability to catch on specific information and catch on to these specific pieces of information to understand the context of the conversation. Now again, the conversation part of the TOEIC listening test can be challenging at times, but you can have help and the right strategies to improve your performance. You definitely want to understand the format, just to know the structure, just to understand that there will be 3 questions asked, and it typically consists of 10 conversations. 10 conversations is what you would listen to between 2 or more people, and it's usually related to everyday work situations or social situations. Also, again, you want to improve your listening skills by regularly practicing. Listen to English conversations, even through like podcasts or movies or TV shows, just so you can get used to different speech patterns and different accents as well. Always try to actively be engaged to actively listen, focus on understanding main ideas or the overall context. Also, taking notes is important because when you practice taking notes while listening or focusing on key information on who is speaking, it helps you to focus your attention on it, on what is being talked about, but also summarizing the information in the conversations so you can retain that information. Also, familiarize yourself with common topics. You want to understand common themes and topics, especially conversations that revolve around different work, travel, shopping, or daily activity type of topics. That will help you to build relevant vocabulary as well. Of course, there's many TOEIC prep materials that you can use so that you can familiarize yourself with the format and the types of questions. And really enhancing your predictive skills can help too, because before the conversation starts, you may want to quickly read the questions to get an idea of what information to listen for. Now that is very important. That is super helpful for this part 3, the conversations piece, because when you look at the screen and see the questions, then you know what the conversation, as you are starting to listen to it, what it will be about. I think you'll notice that if you do that, you'll do very well. You also want to look for signal words. Signal words are basically words that stand out, that indicate important information, like next or finally or in summary. Just pay attention to some of the words, which can also give you context. Along with that is to focus on key information. So pay attention to the main idea or the purpose of the conversation, and then try to focus on specific details that answer the question, such as the dates or the locations or the names or the numbers. And then you want to make inferences too. So when you make inferences, you gather information from the information that is provided. Of course, you want to manage your time, and with this part 3, the conversation section, the conversation part, you'll need to stay focused and use the time between the conversations to quickly review the next set of questions. So you do move a little bit more quickly through this part, but you want to stay focused and continually stay focused and not get too distracted, because each conversation is only played once. Now again, practice analyzing questions is really helpful. You want to be familiar with different types of questions, the main idea, the detail of it, and you want to continue to practice answering them. Also, eliminating incorrect answers or the distractors. When you discard clearly incorrect answers, you narrow down your choices and you're most likely to find the correct one. Also, focus on the context, that's important, as well as tracking progress and seeking feedback as you test yourself. And the feedback you receive can just be the answer you receive or that you understand at the end. Now, as you can see, this part of the TOEIC test evaluates listening comprehension skills in a real-life situation typically and in practical situations. It really ensures that you can effectively understand and respond to spoken English in a professional environment. All right, well done.